All right, good day, sirs and ma'am. I'm so happy to have you here again. Thank you. This is Liwem Network International YouTube channel. My name is Joshua Bamdele. This is a channel that we have so many wonderful content for you to get blessed. So thank you so much for clicking this video. Recently, I've been dropping videos on gospel movie production, and this is the third video I'm dropping on this channel. And I believe that the videos I've been dropping, you've been getting blessed. I've been getting comments as well. Thank you so much, and feedbacks. Thank you so much. All right, so today I want to just mention some few things I didn't mention in the last video, and I was still on script writing, and I'm going to start on the note of the title of every script that you write. Now, your title should not be revealing, like revealing to know, for people to understand what is in the script. Like for instance, now when you say that the death of the mighty is the title of your script, and and from scene 1, scene 2, you already see a man that portrayed himself as the mighty person, from his action you begin to say, okay, it seems this man is the mighty, and at the end he's going to die. So the death of the mighty, as much as it looks it's revealing, too revealing to me personally. I love title that will be captivating. I love title that when you see the title, it will sponsor a meditation. It will sponsor a meditation. It will trigger the suspense in the heart of the people that are watching, that's going to be seeing the movie, going to be reading your script. So title that captivates, title that not too revealing. If you see some of our movies in Liwem Network International, I don't like we've been dropping titles that are captivating. For example, we have Transition. We have One for More. That one for More is a very, very powerful movie. It's still under post-production, and we are trusting God anytime soon it's going to come out. And Lioness. It's kind of it's a normal word, but it carries something. It's captivating. It's weighty. It's weighty in whole. If you see some of our movies of my mentor, you notice that the titles are always deep. The titles are always deep, and the titles are not always revealing. The title should be able to sponsor meditation. The title should be captivating enough. Titles like Mozion Boson Fire, you just be like, okay, what is there? Titles like The Spell, titles like even Citation, the circular movie by Kunle Afolayan, this War Room by Alex Kendrick, Between Sundays, Karen Kingsbury, Sin Eater. Just Sin Eater, you see the movie, it was written by Francis Rivers, and it's a novel converted into a script, converted into a movie, adapted into a movie. So there are some of those titles that when you see them, it will the secrets of the moment, it will trigger, even if it seemingly looks revealing, it should be captivating enough to lead people into watching the movie. So your titles are very important. I was watching a movie by our daddy, one of our Daddy Israel Adewole, right? And in that movie, the title of the movie is Last Option. Daddy Israel Adewole. And while I was watching the movie, the last option, I was like, okay, what was the last option? And it was the last, I guess it was the second to the last, or the second to the last, the two scenes that end the movie that really gave me the interpretation of or the full meaning of what that last option is. I've been seeing the series of events, the plots. I've been seeing the conflict and all, and at the point when the last option, the meaning behind it comes out, when it was reviewed, it was really, really captivating that it arrested my mind. Me personally, I love to write a movie where when you see the script, it's not just going to be a script that you can easily predict what is going to be. I said something in the previous video. I said I read the novel, and in that novel, for the first 300 pages, I didn't really pinpoint what the author was saying. Of course, their flow, and there are several conflicts that came up along the line, but I was trying to know where this person is going. As a point, when you are writing and you portray a very, very character as a good person, and not knowing that this same character self is the one initiating the problem, or this same very character has a link with the person initiating the problem, and yet this same very character is fighting for justice and is fighting, all those things are part of the suspense that are needed in movie. And from the titles, it goes a long way. Conflict, Titus, even if it's a name, even if you are using a name of a person in that movie as the title, like for instance, Beam of Mosiah now, it should, they are also good, they are also good, and it helps the audience to have a connection, have a real interest with that particular name and that particular personality and that particular character. So it's essential for you to meditate on the title you are going to give to your movie. Don't give too revealing titles. Don't give two titles that are too straightforward. Don't give titles that are straightforward. Titles that will sponsor meditation, and titles that is going to really compel people to read your script or to watch your movie. All right, another thing I want to talk about is that you should also be a critic. Now, I'm not saying destructive criticism. I'm not saying destructive criticism. I'm saying constructive criticism. You should not just watch a movie as just like a normal person. A normal person will watch a movie who is interesting, is fine. I love how the guy acted and all the joke, the entertainment. Of course, the movie industry is. The entertainment art is there. So some people just be like, oh, I love the entertainment, it's sweet, it's interesting, I love the acting, I love the storyline and all, and not really follow the trend of as a drama inclined person or as a script writer. You should not just watch any movie or just read any screenplay in the light or in the way by which a normal person, normal casual person will just read. You should read and even ready to criticize the movie or ready to criticize the script or the screenplay. So it will help you, because while you constructively criticize a script, it builds your writing capacity. It builds your horizon. It helps you to really be able to think fast and think deeply and look at the way, imagine even beyond what has not been written. Somebody says something, you should be, as a scriptwriter, you should be able to, while watching a movie or while reading a script, you should be able to read what is said and read what is not said. You should be able to read what is said and read beyond what is written in the lines, like be able to think. So as a critic, you should be able to look at the storyline, look at the acting, look at the dialogues, look at the presentation and the interpretation of roles. Even there's also interpretation of roles. So look at all those things and check it. Okay, are you satisfied with the way this script writer, this playwright presented his plot? Is this realistic? You know, those are part of the questions of a critic. You should be able, is this realistic? Is this needed at this time? Is the time frame needed? Is this dialogue not too much? Is this scenes not too lengthy? Is the message not watered down? What about the tempo? What about the tempo at which the movie is going? What about the tension? What about the suspense? What about the intrigue? You know, all these are part of those things as a script writer you should have while you are reading a script, while you are watching a movie. It's essential because it's going to help you. So be a critic, be a constructive criticism, not being destructive or to be looking at errors. Errors, I mean, not errors to always pull down productions of people, because one of these days you also make your own production and some people are going to talk about it. Personally, I love to read reviews. I love to watch reviews of movies. I love to see reviews of movies, and in that process of seeing reviews, you know, I see different people talk about their different angles or what they see in different movies, you know, and this is one of those things that helps script writing. You know, when you see review and see the way people think, you see the comments, you see the feedbacks, you see the good aspects and you see the bad aspects, then you'll be able to adjust your script. You'll be able to know how to write your script and present your story well, because one, you are not just writing your story for yourself or for your family, you are writing the script, you are writing the story for the whole universe, especially for the fact that we are now throwing some of our things on YouTube, as in we are putting some of our productions on YouTube. So it is you are making a production for the whole world. So some things that will be generally acceptable, some things that you think that can bless the whole world, you know, it's not possible for a single production to please everybody. No, it's not. Even the best of the best, there will still be some people that are displeased about it. But what I'm saying is that you should be able to see to it that in the process of time while you watch all this review, you see some of the corrections, you adjust some of the corrections in your production, and even if you make a production that is not good enough based on the reviews of people, based on the review of people, you should not be cast down. You should not be cast down. You should be able to forge ahead and see to it that, okay, you improve on what has been said. So one of those things I also want to talk about again as regards the script writing is be observant. Be very, very, very observant. You know, the way we get inspiration differs. As I said, I gave 3 examples the other time. Getting spiritual inspiration the other time. I also talked about experience. I talked about exposure. Then I also want to add that observation too are very, very important. The happenings around you should, as a scriptwriter, you should be open-minded to be able to know what is happening around. Be free enough to learn. Be free enough to hear beyond the lines, hear between the lines. You know, you should be able to see what people are not saying. You should be able to see what people are not saying. You know, at times people can be talking, and while they are talking, they are trying to keep some words. You understand? As a person that is very, very observant, you know that there are some deeper words in what this person is saying, and that's one of those things that will help you in script writing. You understand? So please be able to be observant enough. Try as much as possible to while people are talking, be observant to know what exactly. Be observant to know what is going on, and be observant to pick. Be observant to pick things that will help. One of those things I learned about Jackie Chan is that while he's moving around and is interacting with people, and ideas drop off from the conversation with people, he discovered new things. He writes them down as new techniques, and in his next movie, he tries to see that he puts some of those things inside the dialogue, or he puts some of those new techniques inside some of his films. You know, he was observant enough to see and learn from people, and that develop some of his films. So it's essential that as a scriptwriter, be observant, be ready enough. I was speaking with a friend recently, and while I was talking with a person, an idea just came up, an inspiration just came up. I was just like, wow, a script can come out from this discussion. And it's one of those ways. Just be open-minded. That's just the key. Open-minded while you move. Open-minded while you speak with people, and always have your pen and paper with you. Write ideas as they come, and or record them with your phone. Just record them and find a way to always get back to them, so that while you do all these things, you will not forget. It's possible for an idea to come, an inspiration to come, but because one, you didn't write the synopsis, and I talked about that, or you didn't write the synopsis about the film, or you didn't write anything down, or you didn't record the way the inspiration came on your phone, or you didn't record, or you didn't document it, there is no how that you won't forget. You just have to sit down and start cracking your head. I got a real inspiration about something. I got an inspiration about one particular area, but yet it has gone. Then be creative. Be creative in your titles. Be creative in your script writing. Yes, creativity is essential. Creativity is essential. So be creative in the way you maneuver people, and don't be straightforward in your script, as it were. Try to play tricks with people. What do I mean? You are interacting with them. It's just like an interaction. So while you interact with people in your script, don't let them think what you are thinking. I don't know if you understand. Don't let them think what you are thinking. Don't let them be always accurate with their thought about your movie. Like, for instance, okay, this is going to be the next thing that is going to come after this. It shouldn't be like that. At times, of course, it should be. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying. It should be, but at times you should find a way to trick people and take them off short. It builds the tension. It builds the suspense and the intrigue of the movie. Just don't let your script go forward. Add conflict to it as much as God helps you. I talked about plot point. Please, that plot point be essential. It flows with it, and let it be strong enough to pull your audience. While watching movie, personally, one of those things I enjoy doing is watching movie together with people. You see the interaction of people to different scenes, and personally too, individually too, people to interact or express, give expression to different scenes. So be imaginative, be imaginative enough to see the kind of expression your reader, your audience is going to give to that particular scene. It's going to help you in the creativity beyond that script. So there are people that go with prologue. Prologue is just a little scene. It can be a scene or few scenes just before you really enter into the main production. And most of the time, your prologue is always full of suspense. The suspense is there just to captivate people. I want to say this also. Your scene 1 or your prologue or scene 2, your preliminary scene should be captivating enough to hold people down while they see your script or while they read your movie. It should be captivating enough to hold people down. So that's the beauty of it. Let your scenes be strong enough. Let your first scene, second scene, third scene, let them be strong enough. Let them be captivating. Even if it's a prologue, let the prologue be captivating enough to hold people into reading and not just get dissatisfied with your script. So it's essential you do some of those things. Okay. Your epilogue too are necessary. At times you might need to have an epilogue after your script. An epilogue is just going to tell or give an explanation to the movie. It can be a different scene entirely. It can be a different scenario entirely. It can be a word. It can be note. It can be you coming around to just express some of those things that was learned in the movie, or raise the question, or maybe an epilogue you want to use that to trigger the anticipation of people for maybe a next episode or next production or so. So it's essential for you to work on those things that are going to really help your script. So on script writing, I think with all these points that I've said, they are also necessary. Then your experiences should also be documented. Your dialogues with people every blessed day. You should see how people respond to issues, and be observant enough to see how people respond, react to issues, and that is going to help in your dialogues. Then be realistic. Try as much as possible to make research of anything you want to do. Try as much as possible to find that I've been writing the script, and the script is actually taking me some time because I want to see the reality behind what I'm doing. I'm writing, and I don't want a movie where people are going to watch and be like, oh God, this thing is not real, or people that have professional inclination to what I'm doing or professional insight to what I'm doing. You just look at it and say, oh God, this guy is a novice and doesn't really understand what he's doing. So there are people that are professional in maybe what you are writing. For instance, if you are writing on football, you should be able to learn some things about football. Make research on sports. See sports, make research. If you are writing on history, female history, if you are writing on generals, if you are writing on military something, anything you are writing on, make necessary research. Even if you are writing on medical something. I wrote a movie at time. I wrote a script. There was a time I wrote a script, and while I wrote the script, I stated, is it 2 weeks pregnant or something? And the doctor that saw the movie was like, oh, this thing is not realistic. And I was like, sorry, I don't know. I just imagine, some of those things. I was writing a movie too at times. There are some things you need to do personal personal research for. So I made that blunder and I wrote it that, okay, this and this is this. And my mentor looked at it and was like, no, this is not realistic. What you are writing is not real. So let's make a research of what we are doing. If you are writing anything, make research. Make adequate research of it. It's going to help to build up. Then also add terminologies to your script. If you are talking about being a doctor, you're on hospital scene, don't just let it be that, oh, we are sorry about it. No, let there be biochemistry, let there be medical term to it. You're talking about the systolic and the systolic something. When it comes to some of those areas, don't let me, for instance, maybe you are talking about hospital scene. In hospital scene, let it not be, oh, we are sorry about it. We lost him. No, there should be some terminologies you can do. Okay, this man died as a result of hypoglycemia, or this one died as a result of kidney failure. There is something about his cancer. There's something about his heart rate. All those things are going to add beauty to it. You talk about the glucose level, or you talk about one or two things that is going to add. When you are talking about policemen to just look for terminologies that are essential for that particular thing. It beautifies the script. All right, so let me just stop on that note, and thank you so much for watching this very video. All right, till we meet again. Thank you.